Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back for another episode of the console arts. Last time we hatched a plan with the murder squad. There was some tension, probably because everyone's going crazy, but um yeah, we're still united, kind of. United group of crazy people out to kill Tepe. The plan itself is pretty much like the same thing as Keiichi's plan, but the fact that we have Rena and Shion on the backup probably means that it'll actually go to plan, unlike Higurashi where there was the lawn chase scene and then Keiichi had to adapt heavily. Um, that being said, we should still watching Tepe, so we're probably screwed. Mion called, she's chilling, I think. There's also the mysterious breather who's calling without answering. Don't know what that's about. Maybe it's Mion and she was lying. It's either Mion or Oishi for me. I don't really see it being Rika. I know I was memeing about it being Hani, by the way. If you thought thought I was being real. But yeah, let's see how it goes. It's watching Adashi today. Um, let's see Teppei die. That fateful morning. I awakened to the sound of the fireworks that signified the opening of the festival. My entire body was filled with strength. I held a hand to my mouth because I couldn't help but laugh. A nutrient called hatred engorged my murderous intent. I skillfully concealed my beastly fangs as I opened the window. The sky was covered in thick clouds, signifying that a storm was approaching. The stage has been set. Maybe his death cries will be drowned out by the clamor of the storm. I can't wait for this exciting finale. Same, maybe, if this is the final episode of the arc. As I made my way into the living room, Dad and Mom were having a relaxing coffee. When they saw me, they said good morning like usual, and I said good morning back to them, like usual. That casual exchange felt so peaceful, but at the same time, I was keenly aware of the darkness eroding at the inside of my heart. The dining table was surrounded in harmony. My heart ached as I looked at my parents and saw that they knew nothing. Sorry. The Keiichi Maibro that the two of you toiled to raise properly is already gone, and I'm the one who erased him. I shoveled the food into my mouth to take my mind off my regrets. Then I ravenously chewed it to starve off my anxiety. I could feel my eyes glistening with murderous intent. I wiped the drool from my lips, then slowly rose to my feet. I headed straight toward the entrance without hesitation. 3 folding shovels were hidden in my backpack. Shovels that were bought to go camping as a family. Nobody could ever imagine they'd be used as tools to commit a murder. I opened the door. I looked back just once, and I bid farewell to the life I've been living until now. Then I made up my mind and took the first step down the road in front of me. The door closed behind my back. There's no longer a gentle cradle for me to lie in. Rejection and acceptance parted ways here and would never meet again. Mom, Dad, I'm no longer a person. I'm going to be a murderer. Then I cut off that train of thought. The constant self-torture and futile idealism were no longer necessary. I just need to be dedicated to what I desire.
Sayonara.
That word was aimed at myself as well. I muttered that quickly, then sat down on my bike and started pushing the pedals. At least he understands more. Like, normally Keiichi in this state still thinks he can go back to a happy life after all this is done, but this one's kind of accepting the fact more. I let loose on my bike and flew past the dense forest on the way to the garbage mountain. I passed a group of cheerful-looking kids along the way. They must be on their way to the shrine. A vision of Satoko overlapped on their smiling faces. I bet the Furude shrine grounds will look gorgeously decorated in a clear sunset, covered in festive red and white curtains and filled with so many hanging lanterns. The hum of the generators powering the street stalls, the voices of the children running about, and families smiling while watching it all. Today was the day of the Higurashi festival. I wonder if everyone's already playing around out there. But what about Satoko? I hope she'll be able to forget about those painful days soon. I wonder how long it'll be until she can show off that dazzling smile. My legs were filled with strength as they pushed the pedals, and as I clenched the handlebars, I could see the blood flowing through my veins on the pale white surface of my hands. As I clenched the handlebars, I could see the blood flowing through my veins on the pale white surface of my hands. I needed that new blood. I felt an uncanny sense of omnipotence driving me. Oh, we're transcending! That invincible feeling boosted me forward as a tailwind blew behind me. Suddenly, I felt a lifelike sensation on my back. Onward, onward, with two hands pushing on my back, pushing me forward toward the end of the world. When I traveled through the garbage mountain and entered the station wagon, Rena and Shion were already waiting for me.
Ohayo, Kei-chan.
Ohayo?
Ohayo.
Yoku nemureta kana? Kana?
Oh, 久しぶりに深く眠ったぞ。つきものが取れたみたいにな。
Thud. After closing the door of the station wagon, an eerily oppressive sensation enveloped us. We couldn't help but tense up. Everyone forgot how to breathe. Sweat steadily poured out of me. The tense air filled the car and circled about with no exit. Okay, holes have been dug. Maybe? I mean, we brought the shovels though. Oh, she brought the rope, okay. That's the preparations, true. A single rope was resting in front of Ren and Shion. It was painted black as planned. That's also smart, actually painting it black. I still think it's probably hard to see a rope. Anyways. Or fast enough for Keiichi to, or not, Teppei to like do something about it while riding on a motorcycle. And he's probably wasted like all the time. But it's still smart. Next to that was Satoshi's bat. I took the shovels out of my backpack and lined them up side by side. These three tools were gathered to open the path to our future. They had a profound presence, like these sacred treasures used in a ritual. A sound reminiscent of rusted metal faintly rang out. My body was growing more sensitive to the tension, so I jumped. Oh my god, it's the curry robot. Oh, or it's Hanyu. She's memeing, dude. Rena and Shion tilted their heads and exchanged glances. Was that my imagination? Don't play with metal, Hanyu. It's dangerous. I looked around inside the car, then I noticed a huge black duffel bag hiding behind Rena. Oh. Hanyu's warning us. Bro, what if Rena's done a double cross us? But it seems so weird. Why would she double cross us to like hide the secret? You're acting scary. Is that the duffel bag from Go with all your dissection tools stuff? You put Hanyu in the bed, didn't you? Bad, Rena. Can't take her home. Shion stood in the way to shield Rena. Bro, just open the bag though. For no memes aside, just open the bag. Who cares? Rena and Shion bandaged together like they were contemplating an escape. They looked completely terrified as they stared at me. Alana dripped down my back. The pressure building up inside my body released a chill that ran along my skin, causing me to shiver. I slowly grabbed hold of Satoshi's bat. Just open it. Rena's eyes were moist from the fear she couldn't hold back, but I urged her to once more open the bag. Oh, wasn't that a sound of a shovel digging into the ground? Rena looked nervous as she slowly unzipped the duffel bag. I swallowed my saliva in one gulp. Then she pulled out the contents of the bag, a set of 5 stacking boxes. Dude! Are you kidding me? Is the dough take from this? Bro, no, it has murder tools in it. I mean, that might be true. This is the Rena kill setup. Body disposal setup, I should say. All the strength left my body at once. I struggled to avoid collapsing to the ground. But maybe not. True. Yeah, come on, Rena. You baited us. Rena was pleasantly smiling. She looked relieved. I smiled back at her, though it betrayed the thoughts swirling around inside my head. Open it up. Open it up. We're getting double betrayed. That sound earlier, it shouldn't have come from that zipper. It was a much stronger sound, with a much more destructive power behind it. A sound that pierced all the way through my brain. It seemed like a sign, like it was trying to tell me something. Maybe my conscience was telling me I should turn back right away. Maybe I just didn't want to look ahead. Maybe I wanted to plug my ears and shut it out. I double-checked our preparations while packing the tools inside my backpack. I could hear the cicadas crying far off in the distance. Then we all glared at one another and rose to our feet. We quietly crawled out of the station wagon, then carefully made our way over the garbage mountain one step at a time. Sorry. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Looking back, even though the station wagon was maintaining its balance on unstable footing, I could see it lightly shaking. A sign that it was on the verge of collapse. I tried to shake off the disturbing thoughts running through my mind as we enthusiastically pushed through the garbage mountain. We decided to hide the corpse in a deep forest past the canopy of trees. It was uncharted territory, the kind that wards off entry. It seemed like a miracle we were able to travel here from the garbage mountain without anyone seeing us. When I looked up at the sky, I saw a thick, dark cloud that helped conceal our presence. Alright, even the heavens are on our side. I stabbed my shovel down at the point Shion indicated. I mean, yeah, it literally is. Tonight will be his final night, and then we can celebrate this day every year. We can take pride in it as the anniversary of the day we made the right choice. I put my strength into my fingertips and pierced the surface of the soil over and over again. Shion and Rena joined without saying a word, unrelentingly digging into the dirt with our hearts full of hatred. Scrape, scrape. Our shovels pierced the ground at shallow angles. Thunk, thunk. We all insatiably dug at the dry soil. Rena suddenly let out a soft laugh. Rena looked far off in the distance. Whoa! What the heck? New lore just dropped?
一人で泣いてた。それをさとこちゃんに見られちゃった。
Rena timidly shrugged her shoulders as she wiped the sweat from her forehead.
笑って何でもないよって言ったんだけど、さとこ
Aww,
ちゃん心配そうな顔で
bless Toko.
泣き出したの。レナさんが泣くなら私も泣くってワンワン泣き出したの。
So cute. New Satoko and Rena lore. I like it.
泣きながらね、一人で泣くといつまでも涙が止まらないこと私も知ってますのよって。そんなさとこちゃん見てたら私
Rena suddenly began to smile.
可愛くていじらしくて不思議と涙が止まったの。
Nice, nice.
なんだか嬉しい気分になってきて笑い出しちゃった。初めはさとこちゃんきょとんとしてたんだけど、
Rena's thoughts are
今度は私と一緒に
rising.
なって笑ってくれたの。二人で「あははははは」って大声でいつまでも飽きずに。
Man, she's laughing like how I read laughing in this game.
そのこと思い出しちゃって。さとこらしいですね。
Yep. Good lore drop. I like it. For some reason, Xian's expression clouded over for a moment.
あの時もさとこちゃんレナよりももっと苦しんでたのに。
I thought back on how powerless I felt earlier, then and put a hand on Rena's shoulder.
過去は過去。今は今。でもって未来のために俺たちはこうやって集まったんだろう。
そうなんだよね。
Rena let out a quiet hee to herself, then picked up her shovel again. Scrape, scrape. Thunk, thunk. We continued tirelessly digging the hole. The dirt we dug out was really starting to pile up. Just as the hole grew deeper and deeper, the pile grew bigger and bigger. Looking down, the hole was like staring into the darkness of the abyss, like gazing into a black hole. I was likely to get sucked in if I didn't keep my wits about me. I took a deep breath, wiped the sweat away, and picked up the shovel. Scrape, scrape. The sweat was beating into globs on my forehead. Thunk, thunk. A dull pain coursed through my biceps. A refreshing breeze blew overhead, giving us the boost we need to maintain our rhythm. Water pipe? Nope. I mean, yeah, the water pipe's all the way out. After letting out that exclamation, she looked up toward the sky. It's raining. Then her eyes began to wander.
しーちゃん
It's not raining. Then and I stopped digging and looked up.
今誰かが私の頭を撫でた気がしたんです。
Well, it's not Satoshi's ghost since he's not dead. So it's probably just her imagining things. Or Hanyu. Good job, guys. Kill that Tepe. Surely it'll work this time. No, it's probably just her syndrome thing. She unclosed her eyes and stiffened her expression as she said that. Then...
私
Watashi? I could hear her shouting something mixed in with her sobbing voice.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。しーちゃん
Jeez. Suddenly, she began to scream. I guess you can call it that. She scratched at her hair, then covered her mouth with both hands and began trembling.
シオン、どうしたんだ？
I threw my shovel down and put my hand on Shion's shoulders. But Shion pushed me away and immediately incoherently mumbled to herself.
シオン、
私きっと殺される。
What is happening? Why are two songs playing at once? Huh?
お社様のたたりが天罰が私に下るんです。それが
This
私
has
に
a
用意さ
sound
れていた
effect.
結末。もう帰ることなんか
What
で
that?
きない。
I guess since they're all like high level syndrome, they're all feeling the quote unquote curse, so.
シオン、どうしたって言うんだ？お前は殺されない。殺されるのは鉄平なんだ。
そうだよ。お社様のたたりが しーちゃんに怒るはずないんだよ。
私はみんなが思ってるような人間じゃないんです。私はひどい。
Not false. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Shion fans, I'm joking. Shion wore a vacant expression with an empty look in her eyes.
やめろよシオン。お前は罪人なんかじゃない。お前は正しいことをするんだ。だから
Yeah,
罪悪感を抱える必要なんかない。
you're alright, Shion. Shion slowly shook her head.
いいえ、私は
Is she referring to the time she like beat the shit out of Satoto? I just thought it would like still happen because she didn't take the promise from Satoshi yet, right?
ずっと私お姉よりもっとひどい
Not
ひ
false?
どいことを
Not false?
何言ってるのしーちゃん。
私
Yeah, okay.
本当はずっ
It's
と
cool.
貞子が嫌いだ。
Cool to listen to see where this is going. Confessing her past hatred before taking the Satoko pill. A line of tears ran down Shion's cheek as she squeezed those words out.
いつもサトシ君にべったりで甘えて頼ってサトシ君の愛情を一身に受けて、それが当たり前って顔で笑ってるサトコにずっと嫉妬してた。本当は私サトコが羨ましかったんですね。サトコになれたらいつだってサトシ君のそばにいられるから。サトシ君のことを好きになればなるほどサトコへの憎しみがどんどん募って抱えきれないくらい膨らんでいって。
Huge tears began pouring out of Shion's eyes. She collapsed to the ground with both her hands in the dirt, then fiercely wiped the corner of her eyes with her muddy hands.
私
It's
心の
actually
中で思っちゃったんです。
it's actually really cool to get this scene though, for real, because like, you know, we see Shion liking Satoko, but we never seen her confronting her past self, because it's implied that like she starts liking taking care of Satoko after the promise, right? So even in like the universes where she liked Satoko, she probably still hated her. So actually getting like some discussion about that is kind of cool actually.
もしも本当にお社様がいるならばサトコを不幸にしてくださいって。
シオン、お前。
やっぱりお社様って存在するのかな。だってサトコの一番の不幸はサトシ君がいなくなることなんだから。姿は見えなくとも私たちのつぶやきを聞き逃さない。心の中まで見透かして見逃さない。
そうだよ。お社様はいるんだよ。
She does. Rena muttered that quietly, but with a conviction in her voice.
今も私たちを見てる。
We all fell silent, like we were all chained down or nailed in place. The cicadas cried out as if to laugh at us. A gust of wind blew by, causing the weeds by our feet to hum. I sensed a shadow moving closer to us, quickly and nimbly, moving like a whip, making the sound of footsteps in the vicinity. An eerie, out-of-place feeling ran through my entire body. Like some kind of parasite was trying to worm its way inside me little by little. My throat felt incredibly thirsty. I felt an irresistible urge to scratch my entire body. Uh-oh. Not good, not good. These hallucinations were taking root deep inside me. Did something possess me to make me jump at the shadows like this? Scrape, scrape. Thunk, thunk. I instinctively resumed digging the hall, hoping to shake off the fear stirring in my heart.
悪いが、俺はそんなオカルト趣味の存在なんか信じないぞ。俺はお前たちを信じたんだ。サトコをこの手で救い出す。もうそれしか頭の中にはないんだ。
My heart felt like it was about to shatter right now. I was afraid to stop moving my hands. Eventually, Shion slowly rose up to evaluate the situation. Then Shion took a shovel in hand, stood next to me, and began digging into the ground.
シオン、
Scrape, 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 scrape. Thunk, 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 thunk.
ケイちゃんのおかげで私 目が覚めました。
Well, basically the whole arc, everyone's been stealing themselves for the kill. And, you know, they already steeled themselves last episode, but, you know, just keep making their resolve stronger and stronger.
私がサトコを救おうと思ったのはサトシ君への罪滅ぼしのような思いからでした。でもそれは間違いだったと思います。
Do it for Satoko.
私はサトコになりたかったんじゃない。
Oh.
サトシ君になりたかったんです。だから私はサトシ君になって
Okay. Okay.
サトコを救いたいと思ったんです。
Okay. Shion smiled in my direction with her face caked in mud. That expression reflected the weight that had been lifted off her shoulders from speaking her heart. For all the talking we do, we never communicate our real intentions, leaving behind gaps that certainly need filling. If I were to ever speak my true intentions so clearly, I fear my very existence would completely dry up. I was terrified of the madness it would entail. Scrape, scrape. Thunk, thunk. In an effort to avoid their gaze, I stepped into the hole and started digging from within. I feared that if I started to cry, if I didn't focus on digging, I couldn't let these sentimental feelings sweep me away. Scrape, scrape. Thunk, thunk.
俺も同じだ。だから俺はサトコを救い出さなくちゃいけないんだ。サトシのためにも、サトシを憎んだ分、俺は勇気を振り絞ってやり遂げなきゃなんないんだ。
Okay. Scrape, 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 scrape. Thunk, 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 thunk. Why do I say the sound effects? Because it's fun to say. Basically. Ren and Xian both followed my lead and climbed into the hole to start digging. Scrape, 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 scrape. Thunk, 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 thunk. There was no need for anyone to say anything more. We all kept quiet, and the sweat kept flowing as we tirelessly toiled to dig the hole deeper. We all had thoughts locked away in our hearts, wicked, forbidden thoughts. Even though we all noticed, we dared not ask one another. Even if we asked ourselves, there would be no answer. Our current cause was a righteous one, helping a friend, so there's no reason to waver. Any feelings of repentance would only shake our will to carry out this murder. Isn't that the case? All human beings have traces of something truly rotten buried deep within them. Luckily, some people are fortunate enough to live a carefree life and die in peace without ever sensing the smell of corruption emanating from them. Jesus. Yet anyone who realizes it on their own or is otherwise made aware of it will be able to see the hell waiting for them after the corruption spreads. How ironic. Any attempt to hide it only causes the wound to spread instead of healing, like this hole. Then someday we'll be decaying too. Nice. Great outlook. It's festival time, let's party. Before we kill. Before we realized it, the sun was already starting to set. It pierced through the thick clouds to shine down on us. I looked up at the sky from the dusky base of the hole.
こんなもんかな。
On my signal, we crawled out of the ground.
結構掘ったな。
I threw my shovel down, then crouched down to examine the hole. The shape was a little weird since we were digging from 3 different points, but the hole ended up deeper than I expected. It seemed big enough to hide a single corpse. Oh man, they were literally digging all day, huh? It's hard work though. Digging a hole. My intense breathing seemed to get stuck into the depths of the hole. Bang! Scrape. Thud. The shovel slipped out of Rena's hand and rolled into the hole. She must have been exhausted.
どうしよう。レナ、ぼーっとしちゃって。
Hey, Rena, you dropped it, you get it. It's the rule. Rena stretched her hand out to pick up the shovel, but she couldn't reach. It was so far down in the darkness that it was hard to make out its shape.
しょうがないな。下降りて取ってくる。
Good?
そうですね。
Don't leave it. Leaving it's pretty bad, actually.
証拠を残すわけにはいきませんから。
ケイチくん、ごめんね。
Is this a bait? Is this the betrayal? trick Keiichi into the hole and bury him alive, but like why? I don't know. It's
気にす
funny.
んなって。
I put my hand on the edge of the hole and jumped down in a single fluid motion. Thump. I botched the landing and fell down inside the hole. The taste of dirt swirled inside my mouth. I spit it out right away and searched for the shovel. Right away, my fingertips felt something cold and metallic. Then I grabbed the shovel and rose to my feet. But at that moment... Ring... I heard that sound again, the same one I heard inside the station wagon. Then, I heard something after all. But Ren and Shion were talking up above with little regard for me or that sound. I strained my ears. With my entire body focused on listening, I was able to pick up a few words from the conversation. Keiichi, my name, mistake, kill? What are they talking about? Does it know? Pathetic. What do they mean by that? Are they talking about me? Honestly, it's too hard to decipher. Please, Keiichi, don't botch it. Huh? What? From before? Hate. Who? What is this? I mean, they're obviously just talking about stuff like Shion's past. Pathetic's probably either self-deprecating or tepe. Like, I'm pretty sure they're chill. What is this? So the guys have... No, since the beginning they've... Unable to hold it any longer, a groan leaped from my mouth. Does it know anything? We'll die anyway? The conversation reeked of an unsettling stench. I was no longer able to gauge the true intentions. Right away I began to feel distant. Are they organizing another plan without my knowledge? Do they not want me involved in their plan? Or maybe their plan had already been set in motion. All the questions crawling around in my head prevented me from thinking calmly. I took a deep breath, hoping to clear my mind. What on earth am I? Where on earth have I gone? Where am I being taken? Suddenly, the falling sunset was obstructed by two shadows. I actually think they're just chilling. It's weird. I guess Keiichi's like the most affected by the syndrome if he's hearing Hanyu noises and they're not. When I cautiously lifted my head, I saw Ren and Shion looking down at me with innocent smiles on their faces. No, the doubts. Rena reached out to me with a concerned expression, but I hesitated for a moment, wondering if it was okay to take that hand. Was that a hallucination earlier? It must be a hallucination. Ren and Shion have no reason to betray me. Yeah, actually true. Really? Was it really a hallucination? It's not a hallucination. He just literally just couldn't hear all the conversations. Stop it. Don't try to fill my mind with doubts. Don't listen. Even though we planned everything out, Discord was running rampant. That incomprehensible question, those two eyes, the shadow following behind, the silent phone call, wicked secrets, and the two hands of Oyashiro-sama. Anytime I do something, one more thread pulls loose. I've been desperately trying not to look at it. That's right, it's gotta be a hallucination. As I said that, a small amount of guilt in my heart was able to release. This is my curse for abandoning my humanity. Rena had an uneasy expression, but I smiled at her and grabbed her hands. Cute. My body floated upwards as Rena's hands tugged at me. The scene before my eyes looked like a kaleidoscope. Looking up at the sky, the clouds covering the area had already begun to scatter. The storm I saw earlier surely wasn't approaching. So the scenario I had constructed has already been rewritten? Oh, no rain this time? Nice. Am I a puppet dancing according to someone else's script? Perhaps sensing my apprehension, Shion chimed in to remind us of our time limit. I couldn't think any longer. I was tired, so now I just followed after Rena and Shion as they pressed onward. without knowing what will be waiting for us ahead. Tonight, all of this will reach its final conclusion. But not tonight in this episode, because we're done. I like it. I like following the chapter breaks and just like ending at 30-minute episodes. Or, 50-minute episodes like the one a couple episodes ago. As long as it's not like... As long as it's past 30, I'm fine with it. If it's like 20, then I feel like I'm ripping you off. But yeah, just we're a casual reader now. No more hardcore days of OG Higurashi reading where... Remember that 3-hour episode in Higurashi? Or was it 4 hours? It was fucking long, dude. I'm soft now. I'm old. I'm an old man now. I'm sorry. But anyways, good episode. Actually, some pretty cool scenes with Shion and Rena talking it out. And, Keiichi paranoia, always entertaining to see. But thank you for watching this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you haven't subbed, why not? Like, we're like all Higurashi out in this channel. Higurashi fans should definitely sub. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and see you next time. Maybe final episode of the arc? Probably not, because we have to have the kill. Then we have to like have the aftermath, because I think shit's trying to go down after they kill Teppei. Just because it's like so clean. Like it's trying to be a clean kill, I think. But then shit's trying to go down either from Owishi's investigation, Mia not pulling the bodies, like some bad things are gonna happen. Satoko being freaked out still. Everyone like thinking Teppei is still alive somehow. Some stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Have a great day, night. Peace.